Hey everybody, welcome to the Rhody Sports Show. Hey, we're back. It's been a while, right? But we're going to be coming here every Friday night at 5 p.m. Rhody Sports Show with Ron Robert right here on the sfbnri.com, Sports Fan Base Network, Rhode Island Podcast Network. If you haven't checked this out, you really got to go to our website. It's pretty great. We have food shows, politics shows, all girls, female podcasts. We got it all. So you really got to go down there and check it out. We always have new shows premiering. This week we had Super Journalist with Fago Franklin coming up tonight. Combat 101 with Jared Tillinghast and Todd Chattel. We have New England Restaurant Expose on the way, and we also have Bossed Up, a female empowerment podcast, which I think everyone's really going to love. And so, there's a lot of things happening. You really got to go check it out. www.sfbnri.com. But we also have some great shows that have been existing. Titletown Throwdown, Tom Gronkowski, which is about Brady and Gronk down in Tampa. We got the Ocean State Athlete Spotlight. Matt Morocco and Todd Ziak doing a great job there. Political Goat with Felix Fernandez. We got MMA Complete on Thursday night. So there's a lot of stuff happening. Sports World Weekly every Saturday morning at 10 o'clock. It's like I could just keep going on and on. It's like a mouthful. But so now we bring the Rhody Sports Show back live. We're also going to be up on podcast and Spotify, and you'll be able to find us on our website, www.sfbnri.com. Today, we welcome a special guest, former NFL quarterback, Todd Krueger. Now, Todd, he's local. He's been working with a lot of local high school quarterbacks, trying to get them to the next level. He's got a couple camps coming up this weekend with Academic Elite Football. That's his company. And he'll be able to talk about all this kind of stuff today. So we want to welcome Todd to the show. Welcome, Todd. How are you?
Hey, Ron. Thanks for having me on. Anytime I can talk football, it's pretty cool.
Right. It's awesome. And Todd and I, it was funny when we connected. We were like, oh, we've been watching each other now for a long time. He's been watching our stuff. We've been watching his stuff. So it's great for us to finally get together and get on a show together and, talk football. Right, Todd?
Yeah, it's pretty cool what you've been doing. I followed you on different formats of social media, Facebook, Instagram. So glad to be on the show today. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, you're welcome. We appreciate having you come on. Now, let's get right to it, because the first thing we want to talk about here is your camps that are coming up. And if you could kind of let us know a little bit about those, where they're going to be. Is there still room to sign up? Right here, this is the middle school showcase camp that you have coming up.
Yeah. What's going on, Ron, with the COVID, in New England and specifically Rhode Island? They've pretty much shut down youth and high school football. So as far as games and things like that. So what I decided to do was offer a showcase for the high school kids, because they're really hurting for recruiting purposes. The colleges aren't allowed to have their coaches come off campus. There's no on-campus recruiting. So it's kind of a tough situation for some of these high school seniors who've been training 4, 6, 8 years. And so we came up with the idea to have a showcase, invite some of the college coaches down, invite some of the prep school coaches down. We're going to have it in Westerly, Rhode Island this coming Sunday. And we've kind of partnered with the Westerly Pee Wee football in their middle school program. And so they asked if we could also do one for the middle schoolers. So we decided to do a middle school showcase this Sunday in the morning, and then a high school showcase in the afternoon. Unfortunately, it's been a high demand. Both showcases are currently sold out.
Oh, both showcases are sold out. Well, we're going to still talk about these showcases. And obviously, maybe some of the kids can't get on it like they would have wanted to. Here's the other showcase right here, high school invite only. Now, there's a lot of college coaches that watch our network. Not necessarily, they come in and out. Well, this would be a great launching point here, Todd, to kind of tell them, what do you think they're going to see, let's say at the middle school level, if they come to Westerly Sunday? It's between 2 and 5, or they watch the video. Now, just to let everybody know, the SFBN Rhode Island will be recording the whole camp, and then we will be posting it on our website so people can just go back and watch it on our YouTube channels. So what do you think people will see at the middle school level?
Well, first, Ron, I have to tell you, I started putting the word out that we're going to do the live feed by you guys, and right now it's strange times with football and recruiting. A lot of the college coaches, whether it's per their school's own rules or whatever, they're not allowed to go off campus. They're not even, some of the prep school kids can't even leave the campus. They don't want the coaches out in the public. They're afraid they might bring the COVID back. So when I told them we're going to have a live feed, almost all the coaches that we've been in communication with were asking for the link after it's done. Because
hey, what do you want from me? What do you want from me? I got to be happy about that.
So excited. I've been doing these things for about 8 years now, and this is the first time we're going to do the live feed, and I think it's going to be super cool. It's going to be another value to I consider the guys that come to our things our clients. We're trying to help them, whether they're in middle school, get exposure, whether they're in high school, trying to get recruited so they can get maybe a college scholarship, whether that's an academic one or an athletic one. So that's kind of what's behind all this. And I think the live feed is going to be really cool. Parents can watch it. They'll send it out to the coaches.
Yeah.
To your question about the middle schoolers, we want to talk about that.
Yeah, so I was just saying, what do you think because middle school, right? It's a middle school combine, which I think is cool because, you're giving people a look at somebody early, right? And there's probably some kids out there. And, we're all like that, football coaches. Everybody's like, oh, I saw this kid. But what do you think that people will see in middle school kids at the combine?
Well, Ron, what's happened, I don't necessarily agree with it or like it, but it is what it is in the industry. What they were doing to high school kids,
right,
5-6 years ago, they started pushing that down to the middle schoolers. And so these showcases, any chance to get private training, any kind of a camp, all-star games, all-star weeks, all those things kind of were for high school kids 5-6 years ago. Now they're doing it for middle school. And on a rare occasion, a superstar kid in Texas or Florida or California are getting scholarship offers as an 8th grader. And I think that's the main thing now that the price of college has gone up so much. The average school is about $40,000. So a full scholarship's, worth, quite a bit of money, a couple $100,000. So the middle schoolers, the kids I train, they're unbelievable. The skill sets, the kids are almost 4 or 5 years advanced because of the coaching so well, their exposure, stuff on the internet, so it's really amazing the skill sets of the kids. We've got players coming from all over New England, New York, Connecticut, Mass, New Hampshire, Mass, and Rhode Island. So it's going to be pretty amazing. We've got about 50 kids that are coming, and some real kids that are going to do really well. At the same time, we got some of the younger kids because it's open to 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th graders. And so I train some of these kids, and I say, look, it's an opportunity to compete against some really good kids, kind of measure yourself. I specialize in quarterbacks, and, measure yourself, see what you're good at, and then see the top kids, what they're better at. And it gives you a chance to work on what you think you need to work on. And a lot of times when you're training by yourself or you're training with your team, you really can't tell how well you're doing. You can't really measure yourself. So this is a fun time to do that. And we're going to do and a lot of these kids at the middle school have never been exposed to it. We're going to run an NFL-style combine. So with the laser testing and all that, so they can get an idea, because that's what everybody's doing in high school and college.
This is a picture of your team right here. Some of the guys that'll be at the combine, right?
Yep, I got unbelievably great coaches. I'm so blessed to have so many guys. There's tremendous Rhode Island. I don't know if people know it. They got great youth and high school coaches around here in New England, especially in Rhode Island. So I've got some great coaches. I got the North Smithfield coach coming in. I got Mark Gorman, Cy Butler, Nadine Robinson, Emerson, Christian Samos. Christian.
Yep.
So,
Christian Samos.
I got a couple of college guys coming down to work with the quarterbacks. So all in all, I think we're going to have 12 coaches working with the kids and helping with the combine.
All right. Awesome. Yeah, those are all big-time local names in Rhode Island youth and high school football as far as coaching goes. So all good friends of mine. Great guys, just great guys. Now, so you brought up Emerson, right? So now
Yeah.
we were doing the march. The march is on the State House. And
Yeah.
one of the pictures I wanted to bring up here, and I figured I'd kind of corner you and ask you about this while I had you. So check this picture out, Coach. This picture right here
Ron,
shows how.
Ron, I actually posted that to my Facebook about 3 days ago
All
and
right,
my
so you saw
Instagram.
it, right?
Yeah.
It was getting shared everywhere. So now
Yes.
tell me, what do you think of this? I mean, this is like ridiculous, right?
Well, I don't really want to ruffle anybody's feathers, and I have my own opinion. I just feel, I'm probably biased because football's my industry. It's what I do for work. And I really know how much all these kids and high school kids and parents and how much time and money they've invested in this. And I understand Gina's trying to protect everybody. And I think early on they may have done the right thing. Maybe they didn't have enough data, but it just appears, from this map that I think there's 36 states now that are playing high school football, and it doesn't appear to have any, major COVID outbreaks caused by football. And so I just thought maybe Rhode Island was a little premature of shutting football down, in August. I thought they could have waited a little bit longer and maybe somehow figured out maybe a way to make it safe. I understand you want to make the kids safe, but it just seems like the data that the younger kids don't get sick, they're not dying. Um, I like that they pushed it. At least they pushed it to the spring, so at least the high school kids will have the spring season. So that's better than nothing, but it's not perfect. I don't know. I just think it was a little premature, and the data shows that football is not a cause of the COVID spread.
Yeah. Well, we're going to take a quick commercial break. Got to pay the bills. When we come back, what I'd like to do is talk a little bit about you, Coach. I went digging for pictures. We're going to get to that. I couldn't find anything, but we're going to get to that. So, everyone, you're watching the Rhody Sports Show with Ron Robert. We have special guest, quarterback guru. You can find him on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, Todd Krueger. And you also can find Academic Elite Football on all those platforms as well, if you wanted to go check them out. Former NFL quarterback. And we're going to be right back with Todd. Just a word from the SFBNRI.com, the Sports Fan Base Network, Rhode Island. All right, we're back. Thanks for staying with us. We have special guest, quarterback guru Todd Krueger, former NFL quarterback, NFL alumni, and the owner of Academic Elite Football. And hey, Todd, just to let you know, we just shared the show onto College Football Recruiting Nation's football Facebook page. So we actually got, we try to find the right avenues. So. But it looks like they've accepted our post, so that's great. All right, so let's talk about you a little bit because we kind of jumped right into your camp. I wanted to address that right away, but I wanted to also talk about first. Let's talk about your background a little. Now I found this picture. You and I already talked about it. I couldn't guess. Right, where are you playing there?
This is the Wayback Machine, Ron. You're going to date me.
Okay.
This is the 80s, and this is the United States Football League, USFL, the spring football league that was in the early 80s. And that was when I was the starting quarterback for the Arizona Wranglers. So anybody who's a true football historian or a USFL guy, I was the quarterback for the Arizona Wranglers.
Arizona Wranglers, like the jeans.
Yes, exactly. The league was from the league lasted 3 years, and that was after I was with the NFL. So that's a long time ago, but that brought back great memories.
Yeah. Well, it looks like one of the old football cards I used to have. So I feel like I lost touch with the NFL just a little bit. Maybe not complete touch, but like I was in it, right? And this is how I kind of grew up watching the NFL. And then I said, I can't believe I didn't put two and two together. You played for the Vikings, correct?
Yes. Well, I was lucky
Yes,
enough.
I remember.
Come on now, that's a long time ago.
1983, pal. I remember. And listen, I told you, Ed Too Tall Jones was when I opened up my eyes to football. That was, I mean, in the 70s, right?
Are you a Cowboys fan? Because I got a
All right,
great story.
No, wait. Okay. So, all right. I am a closet Cowboys fan. And my father was a huge Cowboys fan. And I grew up watching the Cowboys, huge Cowboys fan. Obviously, always a Patriots fan as well because it was the local team. But, the Cowboys were these guys were star-studded. It was like the Yankees. Everyone hated them and the whole bit and
America's team.
America's
You
yeah.
got a minute to hear the story?
I want you to tell me, please. I just had to tell you why I was a Cowboys fan.
I don't know. My father was a high school, college, and pro coach, and at the time, he was the head coach at New Mexico State. And his roommate in high school was Gil Brandt. And I don't know if you know who Gil Brandt is, but he used to be the GM, player personnel director for the Cowboys. And he was one of the first guys that did the statistical analysis of players. Anyway, so he invited my dad down to come watch training camp, and I was a junior in college, and I was getting looked at to go to the NFL. And Gil asked my dad if I wanted to come along. So I went, and I got to spend 4 days with the Dallas Cowboys, and they let me stay in the dorms with the team and let me attend all the team meetings, and they actually had me stand behind the huddle on the field and watch practice for 4 days. Worked with, at that dating again, starting because Rhody back and White was up, Tom Landry head coach, Dicko tight coach. So pretty cool. And I got to be on the field at camp with the Cowboys.
I think we're losing you just a little bit there, but I mean, so you were on the field with Tom Landry. That's really how you sum all that up.
Yeah, and in the meetings, I got to, Tom would, I was just sitting in there, being quiet, but listen to him to talk to all the players on the team. So pretty cool, pretty good experience for a college kid. So
was it Staubach? Was it Roger Staubach?
yeah, Roger Staubach was the first stringer, and then Danny White was the backup, and I think it was Mel Renfro, Bob Lilly, Ed Tutal, all those guys were there. Let me think, Preston Pearson, all those guys.
Pearson, Everson Walsh.
Yep, Bob Waters. What was his name? Charlie Waters. So all those guys. Yeah.
Oh my God! You're talking about two of my childhood heroes.
I wasn't a big Cowboys fan, but it was really cool doing that. So that's my Cowboy story.
Those are two of my childhood heroes: Roger Staubach, Danny White. Even though Danny White didn't get the ring, I mean, Danny White was solid, right? Danny White.
He was a great. He's a Hall of Famer from Arizona State. I got one more sidebar.
Go.
So I was there, and I was a college quarterback, and I was really, working, trying to get the chance in the NFL. And the thing that amazed me the most, I was there for 4 days. I think I saw Roger Staubach miss 2 passes in like 3 days of practice. I couldn't believe how accurate he was. And then the other part was how much verbiage the play calls were. I was like a short paragraph. I couldn't believe it. I was like, wow. I didn't realize how tough intellectually you had to be to play quarterback, because the way they called their plays was like 8-10 words. It was amazing.
Right. So what's your kind of like player story? Now that's crazy. As a kid.
Background. I got to give a little background. My father was a high school, college, and pro football coach, and so 6 or 7 years old, I can remember being on the sidelines with him on Friday nights in high school, and then he went on to college, and so all that time, every time they had a game, it was a home game, I got to stand on the sideline, and so I was exposed to football and have been around football all my life, and then had a nice little career in college. I went to would it be FCS now? It'd be the same size as URI at Northern Michigan University. We played North Dakota State, Boise State, Northern Iowa, Akron, Youngstown, Western Kentucky, Eastern Kentucky. A lot of those schools were FCS back in the day, and so was lucky enough to get drafted by the Bills and had a cup of coffee in the NFL. And 2008, I got a chance to. I had a website where I was selling coaching products, and FBU Football University approached me and asked me if I wanted to help them with their website. And then they told me they were doing camps. They used former football players. I told them, well, I was an NFL guy, and next thing I know, I'm doing camps with FBU for 3 years all over the country. Got to go to their Army All-American game in San Antonio, and that kind of just funneled me right into private training. And in 2008, I started the private training business. At one of the camps, a coach asked me if I wanted to coach their high school team. So I got approached at Lawrence Academy up in Groton, Mass, a prep school, and started coaching there for 3 years. And that just got me the bug. And now it's 2020, and I've been doing it full time for 12 years.
Well, let's talk about that, but after the commercial break. How about that? So when we come back, we have special guest, quarterback guru Todd Krueger here, former, I don't like to say ex. X is a bad word, right? Former NFL quarterback and alumni, and also the owner of Academic Elite Football, which is hosting a camp this Sunday in Westerly. Middle school is, what's the time for middle school, Coach?
Middle school is from 10 to 1, and then the high school are from 2 to 5. It's a 3-hour showcase.
3-hour showcase. So if you're a college coach, we're also going to be recording the whole camp and then uploading it and going live with it, and it'll be stored on our website, www.sfbnri.com, and you can find it on our YouTube channel as well. Just give us 2 minutes, and we are going to pay some bills, and we're going to be right back. All right, we're back. We're back with quarterback guru Todd Krueger. And Todd, before we took that quick little break, you were talking about how you've been coaching for so long and about some of these kids that you've helped coach and brought through the ranks. So what we're going to do is we're going to pop some of these pictures up, and we're going to let you give some shout-outs. Okay? You good with that? All right, awesome. So let's start. One, tell everybody about this guy.
This is Jack Austin. He currently is a freshman in high school up at Foxborough. He's going to attend a Catholic Memorial Catholic school. I started training Jack in 6th grade, and like I said, the younger kids are driven. He probably goes to more camps than any kid I know. He's been to football quarterback camps in Tennessee, Florida, Georgia, Texas, Missouri, and he's been to all the stuff I have. He's a tremendously driven kid, super smart, and he's going to be doing big things. He's very, very driven. His skill set's really, really advanced. He's one of the top, if you don't know, kids are labeled or described, but what year they're going to graduate from high school. So a senior would be a 2021. So he's a freshman, so he's a 2024, and so he's one of the top 10 2024 quarterbacks in the country.
All right, awesome. Next.
Oh, this is the big cat. So I did some training down in Georgia, and this is Anthony Christensen, and he ended up going to Albany State, which is the FCS. It didn't start until senior year. They moved him from wide receiver back to tight end, so he was kind of like Cam Newton. He was, Georgia's a big Cam Newton country. He was in Atlanta. Yep. He was a superstar there. And so this is the big cat. And he's one of the few guys that ever trained that was as tall as me, had a bazooka for an arm. And so, I haven't really followed up because I was down in Georgia. I moved back in 2014 to to try to make sure I spent some time with my son. I was kind of going back and forth, and I was missing stuff. My son went to Prout, and so I haven't trained him since 2014, but he ended up going to Albany State and getting a full scholarship. Pretty exciting.
All right. Excellent. All right, here we go. Go.
Oh, these are my little guys. I train youth, high school, and college. And so, like I say, the kids are getting younger and younger. The guy on the left was a third grader, and the guy on the right is a fourth grader. And so those are my guys up from Fitchburg. I travel up to Fitchburg, Mass. And so, I don't want to say how good they're going to be because it's pretty early, but it's amazing what the younger kids can do. They can't throw as far, but you can teach them footwork and fundamentals. And I don't know if it's Xbox or Madden, but the kids are so advanced. It's unbelievable.
Awesome. Yeah, I wonder if that helps, Coach. I mean, that's probably a whole different show you and I could probably do, right?
Yeah, we might have to do that, Ron. I just think with the exposure on how much football's on TV, all the different channels and the internet and the YouTube and Madden, the kids are just access to all that football and information. They just understand it so much better than when I played in the old days. And even when I was growing up, we didn't have private coaching. We didn't have these camps and showcases. None of that stuff existed. So, like I said, the kids are just so much more advanced. And the nutrition's better. The training's better. Everything's just more advanced. It's better.
All right, here we go. Ready, Coach?
Yes. It's my guy, Nate Lucier. So anybody who's from Rhode Island must have heard this name. Nate was a superstar at LaSalle. He ended up getting a scholarship to go to Brown. Super smart kid. Fits right into my company with the academic elite. We promote academics. It's so important. For a little bit of tidbit for anybody who's a really Rhode Island football fan, he was the starting quarterback his sophomore year. It was the last time LaSalle beat Hendricken to be state champs because Hendricken had won it like 9 years in a row, and I think they've won it like 3 or 4 in a row. So Nate was the MVP of that game. He was the reason they won, and Nate's a great kid. He's a big, strong, tough kid. He's going to be a freshman this year, so I think everything's on hold at Brown, but excited to see what he can do. He's about 6'3", 220. He's a brute. Tough kid, great kid.
Yeah, I was at that game. At that year, my son was playing for Hendricken that year. He was only a sophomore at the time, but
at Hendricken, they had won 10, 12 in a row.
Yeah, it was something like that. And LaSalle beat them 22-21. Hendricken missed a field goal at the end of the game, and Nate ran down. He scored a touchdown with about a minute to go, and then Hendricken drove all the way, and they missed. Yes. Yeah, and they missed. But then, because really my son played most of his high school football career with Christensen West. And then my son's senior year, West took him down.
That's right. We talked about
they beat LaSalle in LaSalle.
Yeah. West had some players. You had the Cam that's was also player, all around just great athlete. I think he was player of the year in Rhode Island, if I'm not correct.
Yeah, and he's going to Springfield.
Yes, great
Stonehill. Stonehill. Sorry.
It's in the New England 10. It's a Division II. Pretty sure he got a full scholarship. So, Ron, now that's usually the motivation that most of the parents are paying the money to train is, a typical scholarship might be 100 to 150 to 200, 250,000. I think to go to Brown, it's 72,000 a year. So, you're looking at $280,000. And if you can invest some money with a coach and private training and get a $20, $30, $40, $50,000 scholarship, it's worth it.
Totally worth it. Okay, here we go. And I love Nate because, I love Nate. Nate played at the North Providence Jets, and him and my son were they were on the same team. Glenn was their coach.
Wow.
And also, so it was Nate Lucier, it was my son, and it was Israel from Hendricken, number 8. I don't know if you remember Israel, the running back from Hendricken. He was their running back. It was a pretty they had a pretty good team. Okay,
they must have not lost any games, right?
I don't think they did. I actually don't think they did. Okay, here we go. Ready, Coach?
Okay. Oh, this is Andrew Landry. I started training Andrew. Andrew is currently a freshman at Boston College. He lives in Newton. He's from Newton. I started training Andrew in 7th grade. So longtime client, very excited for him. He's a big kid. He's about 6'5". Now he's up to about 220. He had a great career. He was all state at Newton North. Just a great kid, super smart. He had like a 3.7. So him and his family are very excited, to be enabled at Boston College. Looking for big things for him. Exciting times for him. He's playing big time football at Boston College.
Awesome. All right, let's see. I love this kid, by the way. Great kid right here.
Yeah. Who doesn't? Another one, another Moses Brown. That's the MB is Michael Walsh. What a great kid. Again, I met Michael in 8th grade, and small story behind that. His parents reached out to me, and they wanted to go to a private school. They wanted to know which one to go to. You can go to Hendricken, LaSalle, Moses Brown, St. Ray's,
Yep.
And at the time, Willie was the head coach, and he was throwing the most. And so recommending looking at Moses Brown. He ended up at Moses Brown with Willie, and I think they won a state championship.
Yep.
He was player of the year, I think, his junior year. And again, another great academic kid. So that's another kid that I trained that ended up going to Brown, Ivy League football. Can't go wrong. He'll be set for life when he graduates. So another success story for academic elite. Just so I can say it, Ron. I've been around football a long time, 30-some years, and after going down to Georgia, I realized how important academics were and how the Northeast, I was down in Georgia and North Carolina, and they don't really view academics aggressively as much as in New England. They don't have the Ivy Leagues, they don't have the NESCAC, they don't have the Patriot League. So I started my company in 2015 promoting football and academics. And so that's how I came up with academic elite football. Because so many guys think they're going to play in the NFL, and it's just not true, Ron. It's such a small percentage. 1% of the kids make it, and that's from guys that are going to Boston College or Alabama or, Virginia, Northwestern, let alone if you're playing. Nothing wrong with playing at the smaller schools, but the chance to play in the NFL. So you need to prepare for life after football, and that's kind of my logo is
Coach,
academics matter, prepare for life after football.
Just to jump in, local Rhode Island son Quiddy Pay gets projected to number 10 to the Atlanta Falcons in the NFL draft, first round.
It's pretty amazing, don't you think, Ron? The thing that's going on is Rhode Island's we kind of get a bad rap. It's getting better. But before, they always said, well, there's no talent here. And that's just not true. Every year, there's 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 good kids that are just – and then Hendricken's been just pumping them out. So you had Quiddy Pay at Michigan. You have Xavier Truss at – and then you got the new guy that's going to Notre Dame.
Jason Onye.
We got the guys going to Brown, so URI, Bryant. So
did you hear about this kid, Connor? I want to say it's Connor McGill. I might say it wrong, but he went to Bridgeton in Maine, and now he is I know this doesn't sound too glorious, but now he's the placeholder for Syracuse this year. And I guess their kicker hasn't missed a field goal all season.
Anytime, that's what I tell the guys, the kids, the parents. Anytime that you can go to college and play a sport, me it's football. The benefits just are unbelievable. The relationships you meet, the skill sets, the life skill sets you learn. Employers, there's data shows that you have a 25 to 30% better chance to get hired as a worker, because they know you have the discipline, teamwork, all the benefits and the life skills you get from playing football. So anywhere you can play football, you're going to be ahead of the game.
All right, so I was way off. I can't how far off I was. His name's Cooney. He played at East Greenwich. And then I guess the kid from LaSalle, Pia, I guess he's doing pretty well at UMass. Also, hey, don't forget, you have some kids that came out of here. Matt Sewell from Portsmouth. He went and took a run at it. Lee Moses just took a run at it. Obviously
don't forget Will Blackman. He was a star in the NFL.
Well, Will's star. Will's a star. You know what I mean? We know that. Will's a star. He's big time.
There's talent in Rhode Island, and this event, the showcase, is starting to have a platform to show these kids off. You know, this stuff didn't exist before. So
Mike Cloud, kids, right?
Mike Cloud.
Yep. Jamie Silva. The Silva
brothers from East Providence. So the Rhode Island has lots of kids are going on to play college football, and I just think it's going to get better and better.
Yeah. All right, so let's take a quick break. We like to break it up here a little bit to keep it flowing. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, I want you to tell everybody about, Academic Elite Football. Give yourself some plugs and let everyone know if they wanted to get involved with it, where they can find you and how they can get involved. This is the Sports Fan Based Network, Rhode Island, www.sfbnri.com. I'm here with quarterback guru Todd Krueger, former NFL quarterback and owner of Academic Elite Football. We're going to be right back. Stay tuned. All right, we're back. So, Coach, let's talk a little bit about your. I don't want to. Do I call it a camp?
Well, it's more of a showcase, combine showcase clinic. A camp.
Even Academic Elite. What about Academic Elite though? Like, what do you like consider that?
Well, I was doing other things, and I said, I decided to bring the academic side in. And so our focus is just not on football, but it's also academics. So we work with the kids in the academic side. We have relationships with all the top Ivy League schools. I think I put 18 kids into Ivy Leagues. That's a little bit different than going to, say, URI or Bryan or Boston College. The requirements are not only your athletic ability and your skill set, but you also have to have the grades. And typically that grades come first. If you want to go to Brown or Harvard, something like that, Yale, or you want to go to Holy Cross, something like that, or the NESCAC, you want to go to Trinity, Colby, Bates, Williams, Amherst. All those schools are just fantastic. We're blessed in New England with all these great academic schools.
Right.
And that recruiting process is a little bit different than if you're just trying to go to a, I don't want to put down any of the school, but maybe not as high academic requirements to get in. And those schools, they want to know your SAT scores, your grade point average, what kind of student are you? Do you take honors classes? Things like that. And so we really want to, like I say, it's such a small percentage of people that are going to play football, and the NFL does this great, almost a propaganda that most kids think they're going to the NFL, and it's just not true. And I want my guys, they're my clients that I try to help get into college, be prepared that they're not going to the NFL, and so they can be, successful citizens and workers and have a successful life after football. Yeah,
and I mean, obviously we preach that. Now, on my radio show, so the Rhody Sports Show was originally a radio show for a couple of years, and we had a lot of success. It was mainly football driven, but we talked a lot about academics and a lot about if you get to college, use football as a vehicle to get there for your life, right? To kind of like give you a better life, get you started. I mean, I know like my son just went to college. He didn't end up playing football, but his sports helped him to, get funding for school and all this stuff. Now he's in a great place and he's really happy. He's doing multiple sports in college. And it's been good. So it's not just football, but football, there's something about football, and a lot of times, I coached football for a long time. A lot of times, you're around different coaches and different players, and it's something about when you're a part of football, it's something about how you gravitate to each other. And something about a football coach that when you're talking to him, it's just a little different, right?
Yeah. I, when I got out of NFL, what I missed was, and I didn't realize it was all the camaraderie and the teammates and the goal setting, and everybody's you're kind of like a family, and everybody's sacrificing for the benefit of the whole, and all the relationships and the times and fun, and get out in the real world, and you just don't always get that kind of relationships and a work environment. You just don't have that. I was lucky. The NFL's a job, so I had my first job was all the people I was around were driven, and everybody wanted to be successful. And so I was just around all these driven, successful people, and it's kind of pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the thing is, I feel like this sport in particular, it's not only is it a travesty for the kids that can't play right now, but what this sport brings to the table socially, for character building, team building. Now, everyone's going, oh wait, I play my children play multiple sports, so I'm not saying that football is the end all be all. I'm saying that it's just different, no matter what you say. I'm not saying I love all sports. I'm not saying anything bad about soccer. I'm not saying anything bad about basketball. I'm not doing what I'm trying to say is there's just something different about football and it's almost, it's like going to battle, right? And when you're the quarterback and you're a quarterback guru and you're teaching these guys to be a quarterback, what are you teaching them about that leadership piece that must be so important?
Well, the quarterback position's a little bit different than all the other positions. Football is an emotional, physical game. It's a battle of wills. And now, with the complexity of what's going on with football, to play quarterback, you have to really be cerebral, and you got to be smart, and you have to understand. It's not just the quarterback's a different position. And I'm a coach, and I coach differently. I've been around football a long time with my dad and all the different coaches. High school, college, and pro, and multiple teams and different coaching styles. And the quarterback position is less emotional coaching. If you see coaches screaming and yelling, I usually don't see that with quarterback coaches. And I'm more of a explainer, teacher, talker. For me, I'm lucky because I played in the NFL, so the quarterback students I have, I know what they're going through, what's happening, and I can explain to what's going to happen, and their skill sets and what's going to happen in the game as they get more and more experience. I'm able to pass that experience on. So it's just a great game. If you've never played it, it's hard to explain. I love sports. I played football, basketball, baseball, golf in high school. So I love all sports, but football is different. It's a real physical game, but at the same time, for quarterbacks, it's highly strategic.
I'm back. Yeah, no, it's totally true. And I feel like that, like you said, if you haven't played the game, it's tough to get it.
I don't know how much it is, Ron, because look at the popularity of the NFL. It's probably one of the most worldwide known brands in the country is the NFL. So I had a sister, she always said, I wish I could play football. I wish girls could play football. So what I think is great, Ron, is the flag football is growing, and more people can get a chance to play flag football. You don't have to be tackle. You don't have to get hurt. But the whole flag football industry exploding in the United States. They got, men's adult. They got co-rec. I'm a referee in the summertime. I was refereeing co-rec, and so it's pretty cool. So maybe not as competitive as high school or college, but people can get out there and still try to play flag, and it's fun and run around and get a feel for what football's about and have fun from it.
Coach, I'd love to connect you with a great friend of our network, and she's worked with me on both my radio shows, on my podcast, and we wrote articles about her. Her name's Alyssa Derrick. She even did a food review with me, right? And she was a D1 softball player out of Coventry, played for the University of Maine, but now she's playing actually professional women's football for the Houston Stampede, and it's full contact. Listen, full contact, full pads, and she's the QB. And the way they
Cool.
found her was a viral Twitter video. She threw the ball like 70 yards.
What?
I'm going to share all this with you. I'm
She
going to put
she a local woman or
local.
Yeah, tell you what, we get offline. You got to get me in touch with her because
Yeah,
I would just love to meet. Maybe she can give me some tips because I can't throw at 70.
No, listen, this girl is right, and she was supposed to come and do like a gimmick when I had my radio show in Providence. We had like a road next to the radio station that was clear, and I was gonna have her launch the ball like because we did a live simulcast while we were on radio. But she hurt her knee and she couldn't do it. I was always bummed about it. But yeah, I'll share that. So her name's Alyssa Derrick, and I would love to connect you guys. I'd love to. That'd be great.
That's what it's all about, Ram. Is your network is your net worth.
Yep. So all right, let's take another quick break. Time is almost expiring. We're gonna come back. We're gonna finish off with quarterback guru. I hate saying X. I keep telling you that. Former NFL quarterback and alumni, and the owner of Academic Elite Football, Todd Krueger. And we're going to be right back. I wanted to promote a new show that we have on our network right now. It is Sports World Weekly with Matt Jolis every Saturday morning, 10 o'clock. And he covers sports outside of the U.S. mainly. So you got to check it out. All right, we're back. So, Coach, so we talked about your camp Sunday. If you want to do me a favor, just kind of like reiterate where the camp is and when any coaches that are going to see the show. Even if it doesn't look like there's a lot of people watching live, we do have people watching, but it's over the next day or two. The show will really pick up steam. So I'd like you to, and we have a lot of college coaches in our network. So if you want to go ahead and let everybody know where the combine is going to be.
So we're running an Academic Elite football showcase. We're going to do a middle school one. It's down in Wesley. Middle schoolers are from 10 to 1. We're going to do an NFL-style combine, and then we'll do some one-on-ones. And we're going to we've got about 12 coaches coming in. We're going to rank the kids by their skill set. We're going to bring in fast combine service. We're going to set up lasers. They're going to have official times for all the different skill sets. We're going to, for the middle schools, we're going to run a 20-yard dash. We'll do the 5-10-5, the L cone, broad jump, vertical jump, agility. So, and then high school kids come in from 2 to 5. We've got college and prep school coaches attending. We're going to do social distancing by the state rules. And we've got a great group of kids from all over New England. Great coaches, like we talked about before. So we're just doing the high school one to try to help promote the high school kids for some exposure. We're recruiting, since the college coaches can't come off campus. The only coaches that can come off campus right now are Division II and Division III. And with the COVID, a lot of schools, even though they're allowing the coaches off, aren't just internally, even though the NCAA is allowing it, internally they're not allowed off campus. So this is an opportunity for these high school kids. Like I said, a lot of them in New England aren't playing fall football. So this is one of the few times that they can get some exposure and some recruiting looks by coaches. And, maybe something happens, you just never know. They can get a scholarship out of it. So we're just trying to help out the kids right now. It's pretty reasonably priced. It's only $65. Unfortunately, it's sold out. It looks like now, Ron, we're probably going to do another one.
I was going to say.
I had kids I had to turn down because we have limits on how, you're only allowed 15 kids per group. So in each group. So we're probably going to do something in late December, early January, because in Rhode Island, we're going to start high school football the end of February, supposedly, if nothing happens. So the kids are probably going to start practicing, the middle of February. So the official signing date for offers for the NCAA is the first weekend of February. So we might try to do something over Christmas break or early January and do another showcase to help these kids out if the demand seems there.
All right, great. All right, now let everybody know. Yeah, go ahead.
You want to get if you want, okay? So you said to get a hold of me. I'm big on social media. I've been doing it since like 2009. I just feel like it's an easy way for high school kids. They've got to be on Twitter. That's where all the college coaches.
Absolutely.
The NCAA has allowed. You can have unlimited access to the kids on Twitter. You can put your huddle tape, put your highlight tape, and that's the method of choice now with the COVID. All the college coaches are on Twitter, looking at your huddle tape, communicating through messaging. So you got to have a Twitter account. If any high school kids are listening, middle school kids, get a great Twitter account. Get your name, your height, your weight, your grades, any accolades that you've had success with, maybe a 40, if you're a 4.0, if you're all state, your height, your weight, all those type of things, your huddle tape. So I'm big on Twitter at Quarterback Guru and Academic Elite. Instagram is a great place to post your videos and some of your fun stuff. So I'm on Instagram at Quarterback Guru and Academic Elite. Facebook's a great way to connect to the parents. I'm on there at Todd Krueger and then also Academic Elite. So I'm on all the different social medias. When I train, I usually try to post the videos and pictures I take of the kids. Everybody loves to see themselves. So that's kind of where I'm at. You can find me. I got a pretty big presence on social media.
All right, great. All right, Coach. Well, that's it. We're done for time. I just wanted to say thanks so much. I mean, this was like a real pleasure. This was our premiere show, and you nailed it. You're helping me out, Coach. Thanks a lot.
Ron, thanks. This was awesome, and I can't wait for Sunday. And we got you guys doing the live streaming. Yep. I think it's going to be great, and I'm for sure going to be doing working with you guys with all our upcoming camps and clinics.
All right. Well, I appreciate the business, and I'll make sure I connect you and Alyssa.
All right, Ron. Thanks, man.
All right, Coach. Thanks so much. I'll see you Sunday.
All right. Sounds great.
All right. That was Coach Quarterback Guru Todd Krueger with Academic Elite Football, ex-NFL. I did it again. Former NFL. I hate the X. I mean, it's true, but I just hate the X word. So I want to thank everybody for tuning in. I appreciate you. This was our premiere episode of the Rhody Sports Show on our StreamYard platform. You got to just, stick with us. Okay? www.sfbnri.com. We're going places. This is our 13th live stream show. We're shooting for 20. We got Combat 101 premiering in about 2 hours. Oh, no, in an hour. And then we also have some new shows, New England Restaurant Expose coming up. We got Bossed Up with Vicky Erico. And then we also got, a great lineup of shows that you can go on and check out. Everyone's doing a really great job. We have all different genres, MMA Complete. We got Titletown Throwdown covering Boston sports, Ocean State Athlete covering local, Tom Gronkowski down in Tampa Bay, Sports World Weekly covering it all. We have Evil Empire Takeover on audio covering the Yankees. I mean, and the list goes on and on. And where, these guys and girls are doing a fantastic job. Come support them right here at www.sfbnri.com. For the Rhody Sports Show, I'm your host, Ron Robert. This was a pleasure. I'm so happy to be back. See you next Friday, 5 o'clock.